When I first arrived back in the United Kingdom from Australia 3.5 years ago now, I wrote to David Cameron about a series of events that occurred in my life. And also I wrote to David Cameron about ideas, or an outline of ideas, to improve the world. After 14 emails with no reply, the only reply I got was 3 police officers who had come to investigate whether I was a physical threat to David Cameron. I'd never emailed him in my life. I'd never spoken to him. And 14 emails, which they said, with the tone of the emails, with no physical threat, or no threat implied, meant that I was mentally unstable. After 2 interviews, they said there was nothing wrong with me. Now again, 3.5 years later, I've been told that because I protested, in a letter, I asked what the new NHS policy was on direct energy weapons, I'm again under threat, even though I'd already been to see my MP, Victoria Prentice, who said she'd consider raising it in Parliament. So here I am. I raise a matter with my MP. I asked the NHS what the NH policy is on direct energy weapons, and the next thing I know, I'm getting a letter saying that I'm a threat again. Now, in my book, protesting and caring about public safety is not a threat, and the doctor said I was not a threat. But I have to go through all this. Why? Why is it that Theresa May has a group called the Fixated Threat Group that are allowed to delve into people's lives who are protesting or involving themselves in the community? My aims were to reduce the effect of direct energy weapons by having them controlled, and Theresa May has not done that. Theresa May, who's been in charge of the Home Office, has not done anything about direct energy weapons or microwave weapons or associated technology. So perhaps it's Theresa May that we should be examining, to why it is that she allows these weapons to be used. Theresa May has never responded to me, and it's only because I used Victoria Prentice's name I actually got through to the Home Office to register a complaint. So my MP, who saw me before I wrote to the NHS, didn't have a problem. The NHS didn't have a problem because I'd spoken to doctors about it. But somehow my email got to the Fixated Threat Group, who threatened me by saying that I was a physical threat. So why has Theresa May allowed this group to do anything they want? Does Theresa May have a control on a group in the Home Office? Is that what she's going to be like as a Prime Minister, taking her eye off the ball? So United Kingdom, before we think about Theresa May, we should consider this. This is the BBC. The BBC are meant to report things in the public interest. This is definitely in the public interest, and the BBC will not report it. The only time the BBC have contacted me is when I told them about David Cameron's emails, and they said that's very interesting, and then I got a phone call to say, I'm sorry, we're no longer interested. So somebody obviously spoke to them. So the ITV, the BBC, Channel 4, none of them have ever contacted me. In 8 years of writing to improve the world, including being evicted from my home in Australia for a £3,500 default, no press have ever contacted me. Not one member of the press anywhere in the world has ever spoken to me. And I write to them. I sent out emails every day to CNN, to ABC, to CBS, to Fox, to the newspapers, the Daily Mail, the Guardian. And here we have a major story. We're on the eve of picking a new Prime Minister, a Prime Minister who's not able to control a group in her own department, and nobody wants to report it. So I ask you, why is that?